Right, this is Acornfield Plantation, otherwise known as Spinny Woods. So that there was the top of the tree, so it had lost its top previously. But there's no...
So there's a... See, we've seen this dead branch. Oh look here, look. This is why. See, this is why they've chopped it down.
Well, that's no reason to cut it down.
That would, in 100 years, would never fall down, though.
That's the woodpecker hole, that's...
yeah, it's because it's spotted woodpecker.
A bit on it. You can't see in, but there's some cryptises in there. Some insect. A bit of light in there. The thing is, they should have surveyed this.
Well,
they should have surveyed this before they cut it down.
Yeah. Could be bats in there for all I know.
Well,
I don't think there is, but you would have got out by now, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but
this is living tissue. This, it's unique. This little tree. It is.
Yeah.
Nice growth.
Yeah, it should have been surveyed for bats. If there was bats in here, it was an offence to interfere with it anyway. And it's bad management anyway.
What?
It's bad management practice anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's oak. As it was. Yeah, so they've only taken the top off it. Some peculiar reason. They'll probably blame health and safety. It looked like they cut the top off it. They'll probably blame health and safety. But
yeah,
that would never come down in 100 years.
Yeah.
So it's just vandalism. It's not even good countryside practice. So if someone...
It's mostly trees that come down. It's not dead trees. It's
the fresh limbs, I know, yeah. Well, if someone who says that there's a countryside warden or something justified this, shouldn't be in the trade. It's a disgrace. And it's a red oak. Loads of them being planted here. I've just been told by a council official that the plan is to turn this into a oak woodland at the expense of the rhododendron, which isn't native, of course. But what they're doing is they're cutting all the sycamores out, all the rhododendrons, again on health and safety grounds, so antisocial behaviour can't be hidden in the bushes, and bizarrely replacing all the trees they remove with another species that isn't even native. Mind-boggling. Yeah. Yeah. Another squirrel's right there. A grey squirrel. There was no grey squirrels here 30 years ago. It'd be far better to have red ones, but that's a bit too technical for these. And of course, there's a red squirrel. There's a red squirrel colony just a few miles away, isn't there? Yeah, with the rhododendrons. Yeah. As I say, the old gamekeepers 200 years ago, as naive as they might have been, they planted them because it would warm the woods up. Big temperature difference between the outside and the inside, so it's a windbreak. Yeah. So if you take these out, it cools the wood, and as you say, it opens the wood up to wind, which puts pressure on the existing trees. Then that squirrel's been using paper in its dry there. Yeah. And just zoom in on that tree there. Yeah, in case you spot a woodpecker hole. I wonder how long it'll be before they cut that one down. It's, no tree with a woodpecker hole should ever be touched unless it's been surveyed for bats and anything else that might be hibernating in them. It's just bog standard countryside practice. And this is the wood. This is Spinny Woods pond in the wood. Great asset. and greatly neglected one. Me and my mates put fish in here when we were kids. No one else ever thought of it, and years later the council came along, said, oh, there's fish in here, and then decided to waste a fortune of taxpayers' money putting these old fishing platforms in while carrying out no maintenance on the pond whatsoever. When I was a kid, this was 5 feet deep. It's now about 18 inches. There's a stream over there. Zoom in there, that's an exit. And there's a stream coming in over there. An entrance. The feeder stream used to be a home to water voles and water shrews, and they are now extinct, and they've become extinct in the time the council has had its mitts on this place. And this pond is the only site in Merseyside for the screech beetle. It's been here for over at least 30 years. It was recorded about 30 years ago, and no doubt, I put money on it, that's now extinct. And of course, anyone involved in the management of this place should know about the biodiversity and the biological records. And this float grass in the bottom part of the screen here, that's a sure sign of silting up. It's part of the process, turning a pond into dry land. The whole thing's a mess, and I doubt, other than trying to make it accessible with these wooden platforms, I bet the council haven't spent a single penny physically maintaining this pond. It's full of litter, no work's been done on it, and this is supposed to be a nature reserve. And even if it was a country park under the guise of a nature reserve, something should be done about the litter. It's an absolute disgrace, and there's no excuse saying we haven't got any money, or we've only got 1 or 2 people on the team. They want to try getting their hands dirty for once in a while. But the jewel in the crown and the way in the wood, this, it's just a shame to see how it's gone. All that pink stuff there is Azolla caroliniana, which is a bit of a pest. It's a fern, free floating. It tends to sink to the bottom in the winter and float back up to the top in the summer. It could be a good little place, this, if someone had any sense to look after it properly. This is a shot of a patch of hair moss, which is common nationally, but locally not so, and it's a unique feature of this wood. Interestingly, all these trees have been planted on top of it. Whilst they grow in wet areas and wet areas with a bit of shade, this is far too dense, and as these trees grow up, the canopy will eventually close over and kill all this off. And it's just amazing that anyone even contemplated planting trees on it. Originally there was just a few rhododendrons which didn't encroach on the ground where the moss is because it was that bit too wet. So they came along and planted trees on it. These silver birches were planted in the first wave of attacks by the council about 20 years ago, and some of these small oaks which have been planted in are a bit more recent. It's just unbelievable management policies.